Because here is Brian Chambliss. He's going to celebrate his win here at Michigan. He's going to do it in style with the burnout. Oh, Sturgill sliding in to celebrate as well. Alright guys, with that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have driver interviews. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Seeing what happened here coming off of turn 4. Pretty sure it was the 18 of Brian Beach. It was. He gets very loose coming off the corner down into the 19 of Matt Horton. 78 of Brian Pizzakemi with nowhere to go here. The 1 car, Brandon Bennett, he gets into it as well. The 13 car gets clear. 81 gets clear.
And of course, you for all that you're doing. I'm sorry we had to put you through a Pocono race, but you're a trooper.
Sorry, you made me laugh there. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's alright. To go down to the bottom lane to make it a 3 versus 2 on the bottom. And the outside line has just lost all of its momentum. Everyone going down. Hello everyone and welcome to the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Meetup 150 here live and exclusive from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Obviously, if you're watching this back on YouTube, not exactly live, but don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It always helps. We're just getting ready for a little bit of a pit party here, to my understanding. You see, we've got Kyle Kraus, Jaron Sanchez, Christian Budd, and Frank Isaacson out there at the moment. And times are looking pretty quick. Top time at the moment, Thomas Harmon with a 29.717. P2 goes the way of Christian Budd with a 29.726. Also, it looks like we might have a few, or at least one, new name in the group. I'm just bringing up my stats on him. We're going to be talking about the 18 car here today. Rick Cloyne? Clogan? I'm going to say Clogan. We'll go with Clogan. He's a 1091 I rating B class 3.46. And as he's in the pits, the rest of the field is coming around to start the pit party. And here we go. Restarting at the restart line. Very classy bunch. And they're already crashing. Oh no, I think that one was started by Frank. Oh, that's half the field already. They're going to have to re-rack that, stack that, and do it again. Looks like for the most part everyone is re-racking and stacking to go out again. Looks like we're starting to roll. Christian Budd and Jaron Sanchez. At the moment, the standings are Thomas Harmon, Christian Budd, Travis Macia, Jonathan Hernandez, Brian Pisacami, Jaron Sanchez, John Lozelle, Jonas Marquez, Corey Williamson, and Ken Campbell as your top 10. Our new guy, Rich, he is down in 16th at the moment, 1.274 seconds off the leading pace. I don't think he's actually caught up with anyone in draft just yet. If you include my time, the top 14 separated by less than 0.3 of a second. That is nothing. In fact, having a look right now, the top 8 separated by less than 1/10 of a second. Damn. That's how you know the field is close. As we come out of turn 4 one more time, getting ready to start this thing off. And they're off and racing. That's a more traditional starting place for the poor Jaron Sanchez. Christian Budd not having a little finger on the outside this time. Oh. There's 3 gone, 4 gone, 5 gone. Christian Budd, one of those who is gone. I knew eventually something was going to have to give. And it definitely gave there coming out of turn 2. I just realized these are some very loud camera angles we're using here today. As the forward, Jaron Sanchez starting to drop down the order. The 60 Kyle Kraus, John Lozelle, and Jonathan Hernandez. Hernandez running the pink car for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Van Niederhelm just giving a little bit of a hurry up there to Frank. Frank trying to give one to Jonas. Try to pass on the momentum wave. And now Frank's found his way to the outside of Jonas. Could become an interesting little battle. See if he can actually make passes on the outside. Outside's definitely an advantage for momentum. But turn 3 and 4 is treacherous around this track. These cars are so low to the ground, they keep bottoming out. Jonas actually doing a fantastic job there to keep the thing planted to the bottom of the track. But in doing so, that's allowed Frank to get around him. And somehow Frank has squeezed his way up into the second position as far as the timings go for the standings. Yeah, I'll bring up the standings so you guys can have a look. It's Thomas, Frank, and Sam as your top 3 now. Christian Budd dropping all the way down to P5. The bump drafting is real. Absolutely. Looking at Jonas Marquez now as he's trying to make his way on the inside of Corey Williamson. See if he'll actually be able to do it. While we're at it, we're going to do a quick refresh on these paints, just in case. Looking at John Lozelle, so he's trying to hold off Kyle Kraus and Corey Williamson. Corey's really been turning up the action with this new car. He's definitely one who likes these next gens. I'm having a look now. Got 18 drivers in the server at the moment. 18 drivers plus myself, making me the 19th person in the server. Strength of field is currently a 25.91. We are missing a couple of people at the moment, such as TJ Crampton. Also missing a couple of our newer guys from previous weeks. I'm sure before too long they'll make their way into the track. Here's Thomas Harmon, the two-time champion here in the Output Racing League. Matt Horton. He's just trying to hold on to survive. Now next week, guys, there will not be a broadcast on the Wednesday. It's going to be a pre-recorded broadcast because I'm not actually going to be home for the event. So I'll make sure someone saves me to replay so I can do the broadcast, and then we're doing a watch along together the day after. Thomas Harmon's still sitting on top of the totem pole with his 29.634. Christian Budd still can't do any better than 5th. I honestly think all these guys should be re-racking and stacking and doing another pit party here with about 16 minutes to go. But that's just my opinion, and I'm just a commentator. Let's ride on board with Ken Campbell here in the 15. Going to his gyro cam. This gives you a true indication of the banking in these cars on this track. You see him coming around Thomas Harmon, who's just come out of the pits. And it sounds like he's coming into the pits. Oh no, we went on board with him at the wrong time. Nice pit entry though, very well controlled. See if we can pick someone else up who's actually on the track still. Now let's go to our current leader, the 38, sorry, of Thomas Harmon. There he is. Got some clear track ahead of him and some clear track behind him. I think most people are actually in the pit, so we could be getting ready for another pit party here. See Thomas starting to slow down, Travis has slowed. So yeah, I think we are getting ready for another pit party. See the drivers lining up in the pit lane. 12 of Matt Burgess. Actually no, it's a 2 of Chris Champeau. I'm sorry, Chris. Everyone starts making their way back out onto the track now. There's Frank Isaacson, currently P2. All right, here we go. Going to be John Lozelle and Kyle Kraus on the front row. The 39 of James Watson and Travis Massey on his outside row 2. Jonathan Hernandez and Christian Budd row 3. Let's see how these guys go. And they're off and racing. Kyle Kraus with a terrible start there off the front row. He is dropping like a rock. Big Pogs to the inside lane. Now you got a great start there. Brian Chambliss has entered the fray. You see the 78 Brian Pizzakemi in the fence there, going through turn strain 4. Currently looking at Matt Horton in the 33. Oh, there's a crash. Oh. Kraus, Williamson, Harmon, Watson, all involved. There's Harmon's car. We also had TJ Crampton coming in as the moment 2. I think we actually lost our new guy, Rich. But he still counts towards the strength of field. 21 people in the server, 20 drivers plus myself. Strength of field is at 2661. Amazing what a couple of drivers can do to that strength of field. Here's the 64 Jonas Marquez. The 24 Frank Isaacson there as well. Jonas in 11th. Frank still up in P2. Great to see Frank in the Autism Awareness car in P2 in the standings. I hope he can have the same luck in the race. Because as I said, these next gen cars are definitely equalizers for everyone. Oh, and around goes Lozelle. Not sure what happened there. I think he might have pinched someone too hard. More crashing on the back straight. Oh, Frank's in it. 13 of Masia, the 88 of Hernandez. And there was someone else involved. Might have been the 33 of Horton. Sanchez also with some damage to the front of his car. 64 of Jonas Marquez involved. Thomas Harmon trying to get that high line to work. As now we're just 8.5 minutes away from getting into qualifying. Travis Massier has moved his way up into the second position in the standings, I can see. Did it with a 29.679. And the margins are so incredibly close across the entire field right now. Everyone down to TJ Crampton in 20th, separated by just 0.716 of a second. Just over half a second. I mean, down to 16th, there's two of Chris Champeau. The entire field separated by 0.320. The margins are incredibly close. I just don't think Crampton and Chambliss have gotten in good laps yet. Oh, and one of them just moved up. That was Chambliss moving up into 16th. Watson's another one who's a little bit off the pace there. I don't think we'll worry about Richard Colgan, because I think he is OUT out of the race server. There's the 21 of Brian Chambliss. Currently worked his way into the 13th position now. Corey Williamson just behind him. With just over 4.5 minutes left in practice. About 8 or 9 laps for these guys to keep practicing here. Look at these three, just all nicely packed together. Isaacson on the front, Chambliss and Williamson. And I know Frank will be absolutely rapt to be in the top 3 in practice. And he's very humble too, you know, he never expects to do well. But he's always grateful whenever he is. Three minutes now left in practice. So very shortly we'll be going to a commercial break for qualifying. We're looking at Ken Campbell and Thomas Harmon. Thomas Harmon still managing to hold on to the top spot, which is fantastic to see with his 29.634. And the tyres aren't really dropping off all too much. Everyone's still in mid to high 30s as far as their lap times are concerned. It's quite surprising, honestly. Here comes Corey Williamson to jump on the back of these guys. Thomas is going to use the draft from Corey as his advantage. Oh, and I think Ken Campbell was going to pit there. He got pitted by Corey Williamson. The LSPD would have been proud of that one. As it looks like Thomas Harmon might be preparing for a pit entry here too. And he is. But with less than a minute to go now, we are going to go to a commercial break. So these guys can get qualified in peace. But when we come back, we're going to see how qualifying shakes out and see our starting grid here for the Meetup 150 from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, live and exclusive right here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. So we will see you guys in roughly about 6 minutes. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Meetup 150 here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. And to no surprise to anybody, our pole sitter, the 50 of Christian Budd, man, he'll be starting on his outside, will be the 23 car, of John Lizelle. Starting out of P3 is going to be the 13 of Travis Massier. P4 will be the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez. P5 will be the 38 of Thomas Harmon, with P6 being the 33 of Mr. Matt Horton. P7 is going to be the 61 car of TJ Crampton, who is not actually on the grid yet. P8 is going to be the 60 car of Kyle Kraus. P9 will be the 64 of Jonas Marquez, and wrapping up your top 10 will be the 39 of James Watson. And the rest of your grid is going to be the 21 of Brian Chambliss, the 2 of Chris Champeau, 24 of Frank Isaacson, the 4 of Jaron Sanchez, the 15 of Ken Campbell, the 78 of Brian Pizzakemi, the 66 of Sam Niederhelm, the 6 of Bell Wells, the 5 of Mark Pentecoff, the 81 of Corey Williamson, and possibly the 21st car on the grid will be Rich Colgan. I still don't know how to pronounce his name yet, but we're here for 100 laps of the Charlotte Motor Speedway, making it 150 miles altogether. Just waiting on Thomas Harmon to join in on the grid. There he is. 22 people have come into the server. There is 20 cars on the track. One who was left being the 18 car of Rich, plus myself as the commentator. Strength of field is at 2,600 even. That's a 2.6k strength of field amongst the 22 people who have entered the server. Only one pace lap here, but the guys are already getting fired up and ready to go. Show your support for your favorite driver in the league. And if you're a driver in the league and you want to support someone else, by all means, go for it. Tell us who you want to win. Pace car now makes his way into the pits. The first starter's on green. All the restarts are on the leader. And we are underway for the Meetup 150 here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. You see Christian Budd getting a great jump. He must have done a first gear restart there. First gear seems pretty strong around this track. He's still 2x2 formation most of the way down the field. The 50 of Christian Budd taking the advantage 3 wide down the back straight. The 13 of Travis Massier just got monstered by Jonathan Hernandez and the 38 of Thomas Harmon. Thomas trying to make moves here on the inside lane. And the 23 of John Lizelle, look at him just absolutely on the tail of Christian Budd. Coming through turns 1 and 2 once more. And Christian and John here starting to pull away from the field. There's a little bit of an air gap there. Oh, and I think I just heard someone crashing. Could have been a little bit of net code contact with the outside wall, which I think it might be, because I don't see anyone going exceptionally slow. And for the most part, everyone looks like they're still going in the straight and narrow direction. To the 61 there of TJ Crampton. Just stuck on the outside at the moment of Travis Massier and the 60 of Kyle Kraus. Similarly, the 33 of Matt Horton also stuck on the outside. When you're stuck on the outside with no help, you are going to drop like a rock. At the moment, TJ dropped all the way down to the 7th position. He's got a chance here to slot in front of Chambliss. He's not going to take it because he actually got some momentum boost off of turn 2. And he's going to slot back in front of Kyle Kraus. That was well done. We're going to go focus on crashes at the moment, see where we end up. Currently looking at Jonas Marquez at 64, now 21 of Brian Chambliss. See the 2 of Chris Champeau is in a side-by-side battle at the back here with the 4 of Jaron Sanchez. 15 of Ken Campbell looking to get into this battle as well. The 78 of Brian Pizzakami's back here, same too with the 81 of Corey Williamson. These guys want to be a little bit careful here. They don't want to lose the main pack. As there is some more battling going up towards the front as well. 13 Travis Masia trying to get around the 60 of Kyle Kraus by the looks of things. Brian Chambliss going on the top lane as well. And it looks like the top line might actually have something at this track. But this is definitely a very spirited battle for the 7th position now, as Chambliss looking to the outside of Kraus. And Chambliss gets there. So this is definitely a very interesting turn of events. We'll go back up to our leader, Christian Budd, who's just doing his own thing and chilling here at the front. John Lozelle, similarly, just chilling in behind Christian here, trying not to burn up his tires too much. It's hard being the second car in line. Christian Budd definitely controlling the way the field is right now. As you see there, we had a huge air gap going on through the field. Definitely a couple of air gaps forming all together. We go back to the 13 of Travis Masia here, who's starting to lose some positions on the outside. He's now dropped down into 8. Managing to defend from Jonas Marquez in the 64 car. There are 2 of Chris Champeau just not quite keeping up with the pace of this front pack. That's just dropped his pack backwards a little bit. The 5 of Mark Pentecoff is in space all on his own at the very back of the field. There he is. Very nice looking car though. Now it looks like everyone for the most part here has single filed out a little bit. There's Thomas Harmon making a move on the 23 of John Lozelle. John's now just getting a little bit stuck on the outside because look at the push coming from the 61 of TJ Crampton. TJ absolutely flying his way up towards the front of the pack here. Our biggest mover at the moment is actually Brian Chambliss, up 4 positions from where he started. Chambliss actually trying to make a move on the outside of Kyle Kraus. Not sure how well that's going to work out for him here. Although the 2 lanes do seem pretty even at the moment. See Crampton there. Diving all the way down to the inside. Now 3 wide. 3 wide coming out of turn 4. That's Chambliss, Kraus, and Crampton. Now they're making themselves a big roadblock. That all started with Crampton trying to break the draft a little bit. Dodge down to the low side. And look at them, they're now stuck 3 wide. You see they're starting to lose the pack ahead of them as well. They've dropped back a full 1.5 seconds to the pack ahead. Brian Chambliss with the level head deciding to drop in behind TJ Crampton now. And he's going to try and push Crampton up towards the front pack here a little bit. These guys definitely played a little bit of silly buggers there, being 3 wide for that long. As there's a bunt draft that came from the 13 of Travis Mascio onto the 33 of Matt Horton that time. But the 4 cars at the front are all just line to stern, nose to tail. These guys aren't racing for position right now. They're just driving. These guys are on cruise control. So these guys are starting to get themselves sorted out as well. 33 and Matt Horton still stuck in that outside lane. There's the 24 Frank Isaacson now. He was almost going to start making a move on Matt. And then he started experimenting with some alternate dimensions. Before Jaron Sanchez is in this pack too. You know, those guys going 3 wide for so long, they actually invited the pack that was at the back up to them. Thought now looking to try and make a move on Massia in 3 and 4. 3 and 4, definitely a very bumpy corner. Probably not one where I'd be trying to go up the inside of anyone. But he makes the move stick coming into turn 1 this time. Frank Isaacson says, I'm one piece of this action too. And he now moves up to the inside of Massia as well. Massia, who's now down 6 positions from where he started. Frank was unable to make that move stick. As we're already nearly a quarter of the way through this race. It looks like the second pack, now that they've all linked up and gone single file for the most part, starting to make some mean ground on the front pack again. In fact, I think they're back in draft. We're going to have just one big group of cars once more. But for the moment, we are going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be having a look at when these guys are going to start thinking about green flag pit stops. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Welcome back to the Meetup 150 here, live and exclusive from the Charlotte Motor Speedway on the Sim Commentator channel. As you can see, things have changed drastically. The 50 of Christian Budd has fallen all the way back to 7th. John Lizelle and Thomas Harmon battling side by side for the race lead right now. And these guys are racing very hard too. They're almost door banging on a couple of the corners. Looks like for the moment, Harmon going to take the advantage and move to the front. Oh, as John Lizelle hit the apron a little bit there. Got a little bit squirrely, almost ran up into Kyle Kraus. As a 61 of TJ Crampton now looking to try and take the lead away. Oh, he got tight. You see Thomas pinching very hard in the corner. TJ says, no sir, that one's not going to work on me. Here comes the 60 Kyle Kraus now. He's definitely been making his way through the field as well. But TJ Crampton now to the point in the race. And he's going to officially lead this lap. Thomas Harmon says, not today, Junior. He moves up to the inside of TJ Crampton now. TJ now with the pinching prowess. Trying to take all the momentum away from the 38 of Thomas Harmon. And he does come out of turn 2 with the advantage. How long can he hold it for? Turn 3, and Thomas Harmon now has the advantage back. Gets TJ cleared. TJ straight back to the inside, almost onto the AstroTurf. The 23 of Lizelle and the 21 of Chambliss are still there as well, waiting to pounce when something goes wrong for these guys ahead. 2x2 action, 4 rows deep. The race is well and truly on right now. I still maintain these guys aren't racing, they're just doing really fast pace laps. But the ultimate decider on how this is all going to play out is how everyone is doing on fuel and tyres. Oh, very big pinch there from Thomas Harmon on the 61 of Crampton. I think Harmon's actually going to hold on to the advantage coming across the line. He does. See the 50 of Christian Budd working his way back up towards the front as well. But Harmon definitely well and truly in the lead right now. Harmon playing defensive on both lanes of traffic. And it looks like the battle from Crampton onto Harmon has come to a peak and has dissipated now. Crampton just trying to hold on to his second position over the 21 of Chambliss. But it's not going to work out. Chambliss slams the door closed on him. These guys are probably running through the calculations in their heads on when will be the optimal time to pit. It looks like the outside lane also holding the advantage at the moment. It's TJ Crampton falling from grace here a little bit. Brian Chambliss up 9 positions from where he started. Oh, Crampton getting a little bit tight going through 3 and 4. The 23, John Ozell just about clapping the wall coming out of 4. Oh, big door closure there from John Ozell. Yeah, we can make all these young jokes about TJ Crampton because he's only barely 18. He used to be a hothead, but he's definitely mellowed out a little bit in the last couple of years. See TJ trying to do the braking of the side draft, and it actually worked out for him now. He's going to hold on to the 6th position now. Let's go back up to the front, and the 38 of Thomas Harmon. There's a 21 of Brian Chambliss all over his rear end. This is a rear view from Thomas Harmon's car. And it's just all full of 21. Brian Chambliss. Harmon running a slightly higher line than Chambliss through 3 and 4. These guys doing everything they can just to try and stay lined up now by the looks of things. And here comes the 50 for Christian Budd. Looking like he's going to try and make a move on the inside of Chambliss that time. Thought better of it. Decided to back out of it. Chambliss playing rear gunner for Harmon at the moment. As we're now 40 laps in the books, 60 laps to go. These guys are well and truly playing for keeps. And here comes the move from Chambliss. Which way is Christian going to go here? Chambliss looking like he has the advantage. Christian almost all four tyres onto the AstroTurf there in the restart zone. But this side-by-side fighting at the front of the pack is going to be slowing these guys down a little bit. As now, looks like Brian Chandler's starting to lose out on his second. Christian Budd back up to P2. Here comes TJ Crampton with an outside move, looking for third. I think Chambliss knows that his goose is cooked on the inside there. It looks like the 61, TJ Crampton, also trying to make things happen at the very front of this pack. Chambliss still trying to work the inside of Jonathan Hernandez here, though. And Christian Budd trying to make a move for the lead. He dove it in very deep into turn one. And it's not worked out for him. And not only did he lose his attempt at first place, he's also lost second to TJ Crampton. Chandler still in contention for the Hard Charger Award. I just noticed as well, Brian Pizzakemi up 7 positions from where he started, but he does not count towards the Hard Charger Award because he did not qualify. Here comes Chambliss now, looking to the inside of Christian Budd. This is the battle for third. Thomas Harmon taking the high line in 1 and 2. And the high line in 1 and 2 definitely looks like it has a big advantage. So it's pretty much a high 1 and 2, low 3 and 4 kind of a track right now. As we are nearing ever closer to the halfway mark. Some of these drivers will be starting to think about pit stops here in a second. Most people are in the low to mid 31s here in the front pack. So they'll be definitely excited to get into the pits and get onto some fresher tyres. 49 laps complete. Halfway next time at the line. And there we go, the leader at halfway point. It's going to be Thomas Harmon. TJ Crampton sitting there in second. Now these drivers are going to start thinking about when they should be pitting. Because you've got to do it at the exactly right time. If you pit too early, you're not going to have tyres for the rest of the run. Pit too late, you're going to lose out to all the guys who got on the fresher tyres sooner. Guys are also catching up to the 5 for Mark Pentecoff, who's about to go a lap down. Mark very wisely there, just gets right the hell out of the way so he can come in for his pit stop. Just wondering when these guys in the front pack are going to start making their pit stops. No takers this time. Looks like everyone's trying to save their fresher rubber for later in the race. Possibly waiting on a caution. There's also the possibility that maybe these guys can go the whole way on a single tank. Oh, just about contact there between the 61 and the 38. And TJ Crampton now trying to take the outside line around Thomas Harmon. Looks like the 50 of Christian Budd giving him a little bit of assistance with the draft. And 61 now goes back to the point. Thomas Harmon's probably going to start dropping like a stone here a little bit now, as the field was so close together. He's not going to find a gap up there. 21 of Brian Chambliss drafting with the 50 of Christian Budd, trying to get them both around the 38 of Thomas Harmon. As John Lozelle just received a big shot going into turn 1. And we do have pit stop takers. Looks like the second pack is actually all coming for their pit stops. The Sanchez, Masia, Champo, Marquez and Williamson all in the pits. Oh, big push coming from Thomas Harmon on Brian Chambliss that time. Battle for the lead as well, with the 50 of Christian Budd trying to get up the inside of TJ Crampton. And these guys are still refusing to pit. Bell Wells is now coming into the pits in the 6 car. And Christian Budd, after issuing that challenge, has dropped all the way back to 4th now. And our leader is now coming to the pits, the 61 of Crampton. Oh, that was a bit close on the pit entry there. But Brian Chambliss now leads this race. He was scored as the leader that time, up 10 positions from where he started. We also had the 15 of Ken Campbell, who took to the pit lane. Do we have any other takers? Not from the front pack. Pizzacemi stays out as well. I think the 66 of Sam Niederhelm's coming in. Still no takers from the front 4. The 88 of Jonathan Hernandez has come into the pits. All right, let's see who's taking the pit strategy this time. The 21, the 38, and the 50 all come in. 33, Matt Horton stayed out. The 60 car comes in as well. Same two with the 78. So now Matt Horton, the only one to not pit, but he does lead a lap officially. So that is going to put him on the point. An extra bonus point for leading a lap. And now this time, in comes Matt Horton to the pits. Now we're just going to see how everyone else is going to shake out on pit exit. And looks like TJ Crampton going to have a big lead over everyone else. That out of sequence pitting definitely working dividends for TJ Crampton right now. John Lazelle in P2. And TJ Crampton has now just taken the lead. With 37 to go. Go back and have a look at Brian Chambliss here. Got Jonathan Hernandez and Jaron Sanchez up on his tail. Travis Massier there as well. Big improvement for Sanchez after being mired back in the pack a little bit. The early pit stop strategy worked out for him perfectly. Now let's see if Sanchez can actually hold on to that now. As John Lazelle starting to fall into the clutches here of Chambliss and Hernandez. It's like Sanchez is actually falling off from these guys a little bit. Not by much, just ever so slightly. Same two with Travis Massier in the 13. And TJ Crampton should be worried because these guys are all nose to tail lined up. And where is the 50 of Christian Budd? He is way down the order in 9th. Hanging out with Thomas Harmon. These guys definitely did not play the strategy game well. We go back up to Chambliss, who's now trying to make a move on the inside of the 23 of John Lazelle. Lazelle trying to stick on that seam that's going through turns 3 and 4. It's usually a really good seam to try and aim for with either your left side or your right side tyres. But Lazelle now loses out in 1 and 2. He's going to fall in behind Jonathan Hernandez. Jaron Sanchez just there as well. These guys are catching up to TJ Crampton very quickly now, so that huge advantage that Crampton had pitting early starting to dissipate a little bit here. These guys are in his draft. But with a sum of just 29 laps to go here, we are going to go to another commercial break. This one will just be a 60-second commercial. When we come back, we'll be going to the checkered flag. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Welcome back to the Meetup 150 here live and exclusive from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. As you can see, TJ Crampton now under pressure from Brian Chambliss in the 21 car. After pitting earlier than a lot of the guys in the front pack, Crampton had a huge lead, but he was all by himself, and that has been his undoing. He hasn't had a draft partner to maintain a decent speed, but now he's got these guys right up his chuff, and they all want to win. Christian Budd and Thomas Harmon still 1 second behind. John Lozelle sitting there in fourth. But before too long, they could start catching up to these guys a little bit. But this is where the action is right now. I thought I just heard a little bit of contact happening, but I guess that was just a little bit of netcode possibly. Go check in on our second group here, Thomas Harmon and Christian Budd. Two champions in the league. Trying to get some more championships under both of their belts. Let's go back up to the front. These three have never won a championship, and they're all hungry for them. Need a push coming from Chambliss that time. These guys know that Lozelle's been losing time to them and bridging the gap to Thomas and Christian behind. So here comes Chambliss now trying to take the lead away. And he's going to get it in turn one. Hernandez trying to follow suit, take over P2. But this little in-battling has now brought Lozelle back to them, which also brings Thomas and Christian closer to them. So that big gap that these guys once enjoyed now dissipated quite a bit. The 33 of Matt Horton, the man with the freshest tires in the entire field, is NP7 right now, but he's some 4 seconds off the back of Christian Budd. As now Lozelle making a move up the inside of Hernandez for third. Thomas Harmon's joining in on that battle too. And look at the weaving and ducking and drakes that's going on at the front. Chandler's trying to break the draft to Crampton. Crampton trying to follow exactly in his footprints to hold on to the draft. And Jonathan Hernandez looking menacing in that pink and white car. Hernandez just trying to take a slightly different lane to TJ Crampton just to not have the air taken off his nose. These guys are all looking absolutely menacing right now. As we are just about in the final 15 laps of this race. TJ Crampton trying to make another charge for the lead now. Thomas Harmon also trying to push for the lead. Thomas got blocked off very quickly there. Disaster could strike at any moment. Oh, there was a tap. Side-by-side contact. And the 21 of Brian Chambliss has gone around. That is going to be the first caution of the race. Let's go back and have a look at what happened to Chambliss here. See, going through turn 2. TJ just got tight, started going up the track. Door-to-door contact with the 21 of Chambliss. Chambliss straight into the fence, comes back down, gets a hit from Hernandez as well. And back up into the fence he goes. Oh, that is unfortunate for Chambliss. He is such a strong competitor. And no doubt he's going to have to go into the pits and try and get some of this damage fixed. So we'll see if we can have a quick little chat with him. Just wait for him to get into his pick box before we drag him in. No doubt he's going to be a little bit steamed under the collar. Hey Brian, it's Corey up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I gotcha.
Mate, it looked like an unfortunate set of events there sent you into the wall and put you into a spin. How was it from your perspective?
Just looked like he got really tight there on the bottom and came up into me. It's, the car's really tight, but it happened. So that's where we're at.
Hopefully the damage isn't too bad. You can get back out there and still be competitive. How was the car feeling after you finished spinning?
We got suspension damage and everything else. I didn't check RPMs, but I'm pretty sure I'm down on that. I had 2 minutes to fix it.
That is unfortunate, mate. It looked like you were having quite a good run there too.
Yeah, the car felt good. I felt I was better on tires than everyone around me, and I was on lead, and felt like I had been saving my tires better when everyone was calling their, how well they were doing on tires out during the pit stop. I looked down, and everyone's like 70, 72, and I was like, oh, I'm at 79, so I was doing a hell of a job, and it showed. I was able to move through the field, which is hard to do with this car. I came from, hell, I don't know, 13th, 14th, somewhere back here, and drove all the way to the lead. Took the lead twice, matter of fact, 3 times. So, I mean, it is what it is. We're we're done with competitiveness for today, but it's something to build on. Still getting used to these cars.
Well, mate, you've always got next week when we go to Indianapolis. So before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to here?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Jared and the league and everybody and you for putting this on, and my family for letting me do this. We'll come back and we'll get them next week.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Brian. Good luck for the rest of the race. Hopefully, damage isn't as bad as what it seems.
It's bad.
All right, catch you later, mate.
Bye.
All right, guys, that was the 21 of Brian Chambliss. And, unfortunately, it sounds like his night is practically over. But let's have a quick little look through how everyone's going to be lining up for the restart here. Looks like it's going to be Kyle Kraus, Thomas Harmon, Christian Budd, Jonathan Hernandez, John Lazelle as your top 5. Then Crampton, Horton, Masia, Pusakemi, and Sanchez in your top 10. Looks like the 5 of Mark Pentecoff is going to get a wave around here. And I think the lucky dog might have been the 6 of Bell Wells. As we're now on 1 the green, you see the 5 drive off into the distance. As I said, the 5 here of Mark Pentecoff, very nicely presented car. And he is indeed back onto the lead lap now. So this sets up an interesting prospect for us. We're going to get the green with just 10 laps to go. Everyone came into the pits and is on fresh tyres, so it's going to be an absolute full throttle pedal fest as we get the restart. We should probably expect a little bit more drama to come as we get ready to end off the meet up 150 here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. All right, just remember, all the restarts are on the leader. The pace car is in. And Kyle's waiting for the green. Oh, he goes just before the green.
Go, go, go. Green
He psyched
flag.
everyone out. Look at the lead that he's getting. The 50 of Christian Budd trying to take the advantage as well. Move up to the inside of Thomas Harmon. And it looks like he gets there quite comfortably too. Thomas Harmon slotting straight back into that 3rd position. As I said, everyone's going to be pushing the absolute maximum right now. They're all on fresh tyres. They're all on low fuel. And everyone has a pant full of balls. A little bit of contact there side by side between Harmon and Budd. And these guys are pushing the absolute limits of these vehicles. You see there Kyle Kraus trying to work both lanes, trying to figure out which one's going to give him the biggest push to stay out front. Christian Budd's going to be hard to beat from here, because we know he's tenacious, we know he's quick, we know he knows how to make the moves stick. To the inside he goes with Kyle Kraus on 1 and 2. On the apron. That ruled his momentum a little bit. Here comes Thomas Harmon now on the outside of Budd. Budd's got no help there on the inside lane. And now here comes Harmon to the inside in 3 and 4. And Harmon is going to take the lead here now from Kraus. Kraus still trying to battle back on the outside line. 23, John Lazelle right there as well. And, oh, there's been a turn. We've got another caution out. Oh, Jonas, nowhere to go. Same too for Chris Champeau. Oh, that. Oh, I was holding my breath there for a second. Let's go back and have a look at what happened. So we're focusing on Kyle Kraus here. Christian makes a big dive. Oh, it looks like Thomas Harmon tried to push up high a little bit too quickly. Just getting into the left rear of Kraus there. And all three of them go for the big spin to the inside of the track. And Jonas Marquez nowhere to go. And that immediately put Kraus up into the path of Chris Champeau, which is unfortunate. So let's see now if we can get an audience with Kyle Kraus. He might not be too happy. So, possible warning on language. Kyle, it's Corey up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Hey there, Corey.
It looked like a bit of close, hard, fast racing, and it looked like two guys just come up for the same piece of road there, mate. What was it like from your perspective?
Well, I thought I'd gamble and take 2 tires because I was so far back, and it turned out to be driving pretty well. So I was just fighting for it best I could, trying to stay on the outside. Haven't had a chance to look at it to see what happened.
All right, no worries, mate. But we look up forward to Indianapolis next week. Do you reckon you go all right over there, mate?
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be very similar to this. Flat out draft, little bit of lift going into 1 and 3. So it's going to be a lot of big pack racing again.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time, Kyle. Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before we let you go here tonight?
You as always, Corey. Appreciate the pull in.
No worries. Thank you very much, Kyle. And, unfortunately, I can't wish you good luck for the rest of tonight, but definitely good luck next week, mate.
Thank you, Corey.
All right, so that was Kyle Kraus. Now let's see if we can get Thomas Harmon's perspective on that incident. Hey, Thomas, it's Corey up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Unfortunately.
All right, mate. It looked like maybe just a little bit of trying to get the same line as what Kyle already had there. What was it like from your perspective?
I knew I was still to his inside. I was just trying to side draft and stall out his run a little bit. I apparently came up too far. I didn't even get a notice of car contact until he was going across the front of my car.
Oh, that is very unfortunate. But how's the car feeling here, mate? Do you reckon you can have a crack at the rest of the race here, which I think is probably going to be a natural green-white checker?
I honestly have no idea how it feels. I mean, I don't think I took too much of a hard hit there, maybe on the left front. But any contact with Kyle was just him rolling across the front, so there shouldn't be much damage there, if any. But the left front, I know Christian got a little bit into a little bit when we come down on him, but I don't know what's there and what's not.
All right, no worries. Thank you very much for your time here, Thomas. Before I let you go real quick, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Not at this time.
Alrighty, understandable, mate, understandable. All right, good luck for the rest of this race. Hopefully the damage isn't too bad.
Thank you.
All right, so that was Thomas Harmon, the 38 car. I think we might just have enough time. Christian Bud, it's Corey up in the booth. Do you have a really quick quappy?
Yeah.
Looked like a little bit of an unfortunate circumstance there. You're going to try and go for an aggressive three-wide move by the looks and just got caught up in that. How does the car feel at the moment, mate?
25 seconds of damage, so we'll find out. But yeah, just wanted to go for the lead there. I'm on a single monitor. I never even saw what happened. Just all of a sudden got spun down the inside. So that's how it goes with this kind of stuff.
All right, no worries, Christian. We'll let you go since I think we're on 1 to go now. So good luck for the rest of the race, mate.
All right, thanks.
All right, we got all three drivers in the one little interview group. Oh, love it when that happens. So now let's go and have a look back at the front of the pack. Going to be John Lizelle, Jonathan Hernandez, Travis Mascio, TJ Crampton, Jared Sanchez, and Brian Pizzakemi in your top 6. Matt Horton, Ken Campbell, Thomas Harmon, and Sam Niederhelm wrapping up your top 10. And we are getting a natural green-white checker. This one does not count as one of our attempts. I think we get 2 attempts at a green-white checkered finish, so if they crash on this first lap, we will go into our first bout of overtime. Don't forget to show your support for your favorite driver in the chat or in the comments. Love hearing who everyone is supporting. The pace car goes in, the restart's on the leader, and John Lizelle goes very early indeed.
Go. Green flag.
John Lizelle trying to take that win away as we're on 2 to go. Jonathan Hernandez trying to hold on to P2. He's got TJ Crampton pushing him into turn number 1. Jaron Sanchez also trying to make moves up the inside with Travis Masia. And look at that, they're going 3 wide on the backstretch. And Sanchez moves his way up into P2. And we've got no caution, so it's going to be white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it for John Lizelle. Before Sanchez still right there, P2 to 13, Travis Masia holding on to 3rd. And look at this cluster in the middle of the back of the pack. Contact between the 61 and the 88. They're still going. We're going to focus on the battle for the lead here. This is the battle for the lead here. 23 Lizelle, the 4 Sanchez. The Sanchez up on the inside. He's going to take it out of nowhere. Jaron Sanchez with the win. John Lizelle crashing at the end of the race. Oh, that was an incredible finish, and they're still piling in post-race. But Jaron Sanchez just won this race. League owner and operator. This is his first win in a very long time. Brian Pizzicami picking up P2 and Matt Horton in 3rd position. We're going to have our victory burnouts here from the league owner and operator, Jaron Sanchez, and we'll get into have a conversation with him here soon. And there we go. He is a very, very happy chappy. There's going to be Sanchez, Pizzicami, Horton, Masia, Campbell, top 5. Lizelle, Harmon, Niederhelm, and Hernandez. With Williamson wrapping up your top 10. You can tell that's a very, very happy league owner and operator right there. But guys, we're going to go to another commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have driver interviews, so make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome back. It is time now for our driver interviews, and we're kicking things off with our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner. And today's Hard Charger Award goes to our third place getter, the 33 of Mr. Matt Horton. Matt, you were there or thereabouts towards the front for the majority of the race, and then everything just fell into your lap there at the end of the last lap. How was the race from your perspective, and then how was the craziness of that last 10 laps?
The end was insanity. It was kind of just every man for yourself. Um, People being aggressive, but luckily, I picked the right line on the last lap, and I don't know what the hell happened out of four, but it was just crazy.
It definitely looked like there was a lot of craziness going on there. But, there was also a little bit of strategy play for you earlier on in the race. Notice when the green flag pit stops were happening, you made sure you stayed out the longest so that way you could get that 1 liter lap point.
Yeah, I just when the three people in front of me called that they were pitting, I just didn't want to pit with four people in front of me, so I decided to go one extra lap, and I slipped through my friggin' pit box, which kind of sucked, and I ended up losing them. Thankfully, a caution came out, but yeah, I just didn't feel like pitting with a big group because you just run the risk of running into somebody, and that's never fun on green flag stops.
Now let's have a look at those last 10 laps. We get the restart with 10 to go, and the racing intensity just absolutely picked up. What was it like from your perspective?
Exactly that insanity. It was every man for himself. People making crazy moves, but I don't know what happened to cause that wreck, but it was crazy. I didn't see us making it those 10 laps, and that was right.
All right, and then we also got a natural green white checker rather than one of our two attempts at it. So, what was the mindset like going into that final restart with just two to go?
Pick the right line and hope for the best. I got a good run out of, I think it was two off the restart, and I think I took it three wide and was able to grab like two or three spots from that. And then I thought I was okay with fifth. I thought that's where I was going to finish, and then chaos ensued out of turn four, and here I am, top three.
All right, now let's look forward to next week, mate. We're going to be going to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So, what's the feeling like for you heading to Indy with these next gen cars?
It's probably going to be more of this. Lots of drafting, but I feel like it's just going to be a single file race. I don't think, unlike here, you could kind of move around a little bit if you wanted to, but I think Indy's just a one lane racetrack. So, we need more of this draft fest, pretty much.
All right, Matt, before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to here tonight?
Congrats to Jaron on the win. Also, all the people that put this league together. Obviously, you for broadcasting, and all the people that come out each and every Tuesday night to race. It's a lot of fun.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, Matt. We absolutely appreciate you coming in and getting a top three. This is probably your best result in a long time, which I'm absolutely overjoyed to see. And hopefully, some more luck like this coming your way next week.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was our third place getter and our Hard Charger Award winner, the 33 of Mr. Matt Horton. Coming up next, we're going to be having our second place getter. And today's second place getter is going to be the 78 of Mr. Brian Pizzakemi. Brian, that was a crazy final 10 laps, but let's talk about the whole race. The whole race was, pretty much a strategy game out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was just a massive strategy game that I obviously sucked at in the first half because I lost the lead pack with I was running the second one, and then as soon as pit stops hit, I lost even more because I decided to stay out even longer. So it became a real what will happen if I stay out? Maybe a caution will happen, maybe not, but I think I stayed out way too long.
Well, we both know it's always a big risk when you choose to not qualify and just let fate decide your starting position. So, how was it like? Because I noticed at one point, especially in that first run, you were just in space all on your own, no drafting partners.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, starting in the back, the reason for that was easily just making sure I understood how the draft would work and how arrow push would play in. But as we got strung out and I became this lone man in in middle of nowhere, it's like, well, okay, I need the draft just to even catch up, or yeah, at least match speeds that the lead pack was doing. So it became a really big issue of being by myself. I just watching the pack pull away, and I'm pulling away from the pack behind me. It it got a little sad for a bit.
All right, mate. Now let's look forward towards next week. Going to be going to Indianapolis. What's it feeling like for you heading into the land of the bricks?
I will definitely be heading into Land of the Wall. I don't know how that's gonna work. I mean, India is notorious for being super tight on entry for the longer straights, and with these cars, it could get really interesting trying to go in there too wide. I see a lot of misfortunate events just happening where folks are just trying to race and someone gets tight and we have a huge crash.
All right, mate. Before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to here tonight?
I want to give a shout out to Jaren for putting on this, and everyone, Drivers Council, the entire league. Corey, you for the amazing broadcast, and really Jaren for his first win in what feels like forever. Maybe his first win ever. I don't know.
Well, I can tell you, it's not his first win ever, but it's definitely his first win for a couple of years.
Well, hopefully one day that'll be me, but I'm so happy for him because it's been a while.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out, Brian, and thank you for everything you do behind the scenes. For those of you who don't know, Brian is a part of the Drivers' Council, and he puts in a lot of work behind the scenes to help make these events run smoothly. All right. So thank
Thank
you
you.
very much for your time, Brian. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks so much.
All right, guys. So that was our second place getter, the 78 of Mr. Brian Pizzakemi. But coming up next, we're going to be talking to the man whose name I stole for GTA Roleplay and the league owner and operator here for the Output Racing League. Of course, talking to the four car of Mr. Jaron Sanchez. Jaron, it feels like forever since you've been here for a win. I mean, my last calculations, it's got to be at least 2 years.
Yeah, my one and only win in output is the very first race of the league in 2018 at Daytona, and that is it until now. So pretty stoked on this. I didn't think I would ever get another win in this league, honestly.
Well, it's definitely very well deserved because you do put in a lot of hard work for this league, and we've got a lot of very tough competition now. But it looked like luck definitely fell your way on that last restart.
Yeah, I was in a good spot. All of us with no damage were on the inside. Then you had Jonathan and TJ with a little bit of damage on the outside. So I knew they were going to slow up the outside line, and I just had to deal with Travis and Lizelle. And honestly, I would have pushed Travis to win, but I had a lane open on the bottom, and I had to take it. And then I was after Lizelle, and everything just worked. It was awesome.
Now let's talk about the rest of the race here. You were another one who decided to not qualify, uh, rendering you ineligible for the Hard Charger Award, but it kind of worked out to be a little bit of an advantage, missing out on that first wreck that happened. But being that far back in the pack definitely didn't look like it was a lot of fun to begin with.
No, we got stuck back there, but I didn't want to qualify because I'm still getting used to my new setup, I got a new chair and got a wheel on a desk now, no more rig, so I'm just getting used to everything. I didn't want to wreck people, so I was just starting the back, taking it easy, and honestly, I wasn't that fast and wasn't that confident until a little bit later in the race, and then luckily the stars aligned later and put us in position. But yeah, we were definitely not the car to win for 95% of this race.
All right, now let's look forward towards next week, mate. We're going to be going to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the oval configuration. What's the feeling like to you heading into one of the more prestigious events that we like to put on?
Oh, the feeling's terrible. I don't think I'm gonna do very well at all, but that's how I felt going into this race tonight. So it just shows that in this car, anything can happen. So I'm gonna go in and see if anything can happen again.
All right, Jaron. Thank you very much for your time, mate, and thank you for everything you put into this behind the scenes, all the money and everything that you do. And any shout outs you want to give before we let you go here tonight?
Oh yeah, I'd like to thank all the drivers coming out every week, making it fun, and you in the booth for doing the broadcast, and my wife for putting up with this hobby and letting me do this. And yeah, that's it. Thanks.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out, Jaron. As I said again, thank you for all the things you do to make this league so great. Look forward to seeing what you can do next week when we head to Indianapolis.
Thanks, Corey.
All right, guys. That was the four of Jaron Sanchez, the league owner and operator, and the man whose name I stole for GTA roleplay. But that is going to be the end of our broadcast here. I'd like to thank you all for coming out and having a gander at it. And until next week, when we go to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator, and we'll see you guys next week.